Hi, Mikel. Just
Hello.
to start by reflecting on Saturday, it's the first time we've had back-to-back losses this season. So what signs have you seen from the players since then that it's not going to turn into a slump in form?
Well, have some perspective how difficult it is what we've done up to now, and then feel that pain, feel that emotion, and use it to be better and to improve. So we were very clear in what happened. The reason why it happened, watching the game two times, we didn't deserve to lose that match, but this is football, and we get punished for things that are related to our identity, and that's the things that we need to defend in the strongest possible way, because that's the reason why that we are where we are today.
Because of those last two results, does it bring an extra importance to this game? It was a big game anyway, but does it add anything else?
I think that doesn't change it. I mean, regardless, we would have won the game. This is the quarters. Finals of the Champions League. It doesn't get much better than that, and we worked so hard throughout the season to be in this position in the competition. We're going to play an opponent here that we know about their records and what they've done. So hungrier than ever, very excited and very, very motivated for tomorrow's game.
And can I just check in about a couple of players, please? Gabriel, is he fit and available?
Yes.
Declan Rice?
Yes.
Leandro Trossard?
Mm-hmm.
And then Bukayo Saka and Timber. I don't think they trained today. So
they're having trouble. They're not ready yet. Let's see. Hopefully they're going to be ready for the weekend if everything goes well. And that's a massive boost, because in recent days we lost so many important players, and that's something that we need to change immediately.
Thanks.
We'll go to John Cost from the Mirror.
Hi.
It's a hell of a week coming up, isn't it? And you talked about the players being hungrier than ever. How does that manifest itself? Do you see the determination in this group? What makes the qualities and spirit within this group so special?
A lot of things, the way they communicate, the way they express their feelings, the conversation that obviously we had after that match, and because I know what it means to them, and I know how much they want it, and it's now the moment to show it, and we have to do it on that green tomorrow at the highest level.
When you see the mentality and spirit being questioned a little bit, more mentality than spirit, but does that fire up the players, do you think? Do you always see a response? You certainly have, early in the season.
That's in football, the first game of the season. That's going to be questioned. Is okay, what about Arsenal this season? And it's been like this for the last 9 months, and that's going to continue. That's never going to change when you play at this level for this club. That's always going to be a question mark, and that's it. You have to live the present. You have to deliver it every day. You cannot pick the games. You cannot pick the moments or the actions. It's every action, every game, every moment, and that's the standards that we set, and that's part of identity, and it's part of this football club.
Dharmesh from Sky.
Hi there, Mikel.
Hi.
Hi. Victor obviously is coming back to his former club. He could get an interesting reception from the home fans. How is he? Does he seem phased, and is he embracing what could be a testing atmosphere?
I think he's very excited. Obviously, he's full of gratitude for his time here. The way he talks about the club, the players, the staff, everybody around the club, the experience that he had, how important that part of his journey sporting has been. And and now he's Arsenal. He's the quarterfinals of the Champions League. He's never played at this level in the competition, and obviously you can imagine what it means to him.
After what he did with Sweden in the international break, he obviously came back, he scored at the weekend as well. Have you noticed a different Victor Gyökeres, maybe a more confident Victor Gyökeres?
I mean, those are experiences that you put in your veins, I would say. And it doesn't get much better than putting your country into a World Cup with a goal that you scored. So that's still there, and that's going to be there for the rest of his career, like all the moments that he's here, the moments that he's creating for us. And that's the story that he's creating, and hopefully tomorrow he's going to show another very good side of him.
Just final one from me. Last season you played Sporting here, beat them 5-1. Since then, what have you made of how they've developed, particularly in this season's Champions League at this stadium?
And before we played them as well. I mean, when you look at what they've done, especially at home, the way they have behaved in this Champions League, the opponents that they have beaten, we know the difficulty of the match. That's why we want it even more.
Tom, Football London.
Hi, Mikel. We've often asked you about the experiences of previous seasons and how they're impacting this one. But can I ask you about the players that have joined this season, like Victor, like Noni, Ebereche, for instance, Martin Zubimendi, and what that experience of not playing in previous seasons and the freshness that they bring to this season and what that gives your team in these late stages of a campaign?
I think it's a very good mixture because we had a really good campaign last year in the Champions League, and we come into this position when we play Real Madrid as well, and we managed to get into the semi-final. So that experience, those feelings are there. Tomorrow is going to be a very different game. We know the difficulty of that, but obviously we know what is at stake and what we have to do.
Sam, Telegraph.
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
We've spoken a lot this season about emotions and managing that, and we know how much the club and the fans and the players really want that success this season. At this moment, with 2 back-to-back defeats, do you have any concerns about those emotions of the players and panic setting in and the worry and the intensity of it all?
No, I think when you have the opportunity that we have, that has to be taken through excitement, through preparing yourself in the best possible way to focusing on the present, on the things that we have to do. And especially in our identity, very, very clear what is taking us all the way to where we are. And that's where we have to focus.
When you spoke about defending the identity, do you mean tactical things or more sort of philosophical?
Everything. It's not philosophical. There are parts, and an identity is created by behaviors, not with words in the world or with things that I want to achieve. And we have so many facts in the areas that, in our opinion, make us the team and the club that we are.
Phil from PA.
Hi, Mikel. I guess just following on from that and sort of the word panic, how do you ensure that that doesn't creep into the group? Because obviously Arsenal have had such a strong season, but then back-to-back defeats, and obviously you don't want another defeat tomorrow, but it feels it's sort of on the edge of the season a bit. So how do you make sure that panic doesn't creep in?
I think what you have to be is clear. Instead of panic, understand if that happens, why it happened, and bring clarity. And when you analyze that and you accept that, be better. That's it, and that's the thing that we have to do.
Amy, Athletic.
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
There's a lot of talk about how the players are handling these emotions and pressures. After the 2 defeats, what about you? How do you help yourself to feel positive again? How do you manage those moments so that you can make sure you can help them?
First of all, analyzing what I've done, the decisions that I made, the reason why we lost that, what would I have done different if I had to play that game again or make that selection again or send them certain messages. That's the first thing. And then understand what the players need in this moment and what kind of manager or what kind of message is the best one to perform and to be better the next day. And that's my only focus. About me, no, it's about them and try to help. That's my job, and I'm focused on that.
Okay, we'll take 2 more from English media. Simon from The Sun.
Mikel, can I just ask, you spoke a lot about identity, and is that tomorrow night you kind of want to rediscover and show the identity of this team, which for everyone watching is sort of strong defensively, the will to it, and the 2 defeats you had, we haven't seen that Arsenal that got you to this position?
Yeah, there are a few things that we have discussed internally, and hopefully, not hopefully, I am very convinced that tomorrow we're going to see them.
Sam, Daily Mail.
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
In the training earlier today at London Colney, there was a few clips going around, one involving pens between the players. What was the rationale behind that and your practices today?
I think a training session has to have different elements, and it has to be related to the messages that we sent and the compromises and commitments that we've done between us. And I try to have all those messages and commitments as much as possible in as many situations as possible, and training was one of them.
And what did that mean in particular about the pens? Because it's quite
stays
unusual.
in the dressing room.
Fair enough.
Thank you.
Okay, now we'll go to BA Play Sweden.
Mikel, obviously a lot of focus on Victor here. I was wondering, when did he come under your radar? When did you start noticing him and started to get an interest to sign him?
Well, it's been our radar for years, but the most probably recent moment when we really look at it as one of the top targets, it was around December of last year when we started to really think about, especially with the issue that we had with Kai, what we had to do in our front line, and he became one of the main candidates, and then the main candidate to be part of our club.
It's obviously always start difficult the first season with a new club and a new league. Are you in a place where you thought it would be, or have you hoped for more?
I think it's where he is and how successful the season is going to be for us. And when we analyze his season, is going to be defined in the last 7 or 8 weeks of the season. That's clear.
And now some from Portuguese media.
Yes. Hi, Miguel Arteta, Bárbara Simões Nunes for SIG Portugal. I want to ask you if you've spoken with Victor Gyökeres about Sporting, and for you, what are the main qualities of Sporting team?
Of course, I did, just to understand, the dynamics, the culture here, the things that they have talked, the things that they had obviously discussed when they play against us, and to have more information about them that we can use in our favor. A lot of qualities, obviously, what they're doing is remarkable. The record that they had at home is just incredible. So you need to be very good to maintain those level of performance and consistency.
Hi, Mikel. Ina Geraldo, RTP Notícias. My question for you is about Morten Hjulmand. He won't be playing tomorrow. How do you think that will influence Sporting tomorrow? And do you think, what are the main differences from Sporting last season to this season? Thank you.
Every moment of a team is different. Obviously, they're in a high moment, especially the way they got into the quarterfinals and the game that they played, for example, here against Paris, or the recent form in the league. That's it. But the moment the whistle goes, is a game that's going to have different kind of moments, and is how we're going to master those moments to take the game where we want and win it.
Okay, last two. Firstly, gentlemen here.
Hi, Pedro Casteleiro, A Bola. How do you see Rui Borges' work? He wasn't in charge last time you were here. What changes do you see on the team, and how do you analyze this Sporting team?
Well, very good. Obviously, where he's got the team at the moment, the way he's playing, performing collectively, and then when you look at individuals, what they are doing and the way they are developing as well, very impressed. So yeah, every coach has his own thing. I think he's connected with the team and the club in a really powerful way, and doing a great job.
And finally, one here.
Hello, Mikel. Aqui, here. Rodrigo Lima, Bola na Rede from Portugal. Sporting is a team with a lot of variability, able to move players into central areas, but also create danger on the wings with players like Maxi Araujo and Jenny Catamo. How do you see this variability influencing the game tomorrow, and which players do you consider the biggest threat? Thank you.
Well, a lot, because that's the reason why they are there, because they have a lot of quality, as you say, a lot of variability within the spaces that a lot of players can occupy in the attacking phase, and then they can unbalance the game because they have the individual quality, and you haven't mentioned some others as well that they have the capacity to do that. Obviously, the phase of play, when those players get in those positions, it starts earlier normally, so the problem starts earlier than sometimes in this moment it's too late to give the solutions. That's what we'll try to do.
Okay, everyone, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi, David.
See you tomorrow.
I know you haven't played the last couple of games, but after 2 losses back to back, how is the feeling in the group, and how do you lift spirits?
No, we obviously we are disappointed with the results, with the 2 losses, but we have full of faith on ourselves, and the squad is really good. Really happy to be back together, obviously, as well, from international break, and just ready to go again.
There's always a pressure in knockout football, but after 2 results like that, coming into a quarter-final of a Champions League, does it feel like there's an extra bit of pressure coming into this one?
No, I don't think the word is pressure. I think it's an opportunity to show what team we are and what we're capable of. So we just have to grab the opportunity and just win the game.
We'll go along to Dharmesh, yeah.
Hey, David, just picking up on what Alex said there, can you give us an insight what it's been like around the camp and the role that you've played, particularly being one of the leaders in that group, to try and pick everyone up?
Well, of course, it's a disappointing moment, obviously losing against Southampton in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. But now that is gone. We just have to use that fuel, that pain that we had after the game, just to pick it up for the rest of the season, and it starts tomorrow, and that's the most important thing. It starts tomorrow. That's the most important game, and that's it basically. And the role is just you have to be together, enjoy being out there together, and that's the most important thing.
Is it coming down now to mental strength more than anything else? And what are you seeing that maybe you can get a different outcome with these two competitions that you're in compared to previous seasons?
I don't know. I think we just have to focus on ourselves, enjoy every day, training and playing together, and it's a massive opportunity. We are in a really good position, especially in the Premier League, and obviously we have an opportunity tomorrow and to win, and then let's see what happens. But the most important thing is to enjoy being together and enjoying being out there playing football. And because if you don't enjoy it, it's not worth it.
Tom?
Hi, David. It's a big game for Victor coming back to play against his former club. Since joining Arsenal, you've gone back to play against your former club, Brentford, on a couple of occasions. What's that experience like? Does it make you more fired up for those games, going back to an old club? And how does it feel in those moments?
I think so. I think it gives you that extra motivation, if you want to say it like this, going back to your old club and where you have developed as a player and as a person. So he'll be eager to play. He'll be eager to score goals. So let's hope he can score a few tomorrow.
Has there been any conversations? Is he excited to come back and play again?
No, I haven't spoke to him about it, but hopefully, and I think he'll be excited to be back here.
Sam?
Hi, David. Just a question on Martin Odegaard, if that's okay. He's obviously missed so much of the season, but he's now seemingly coming back to full fitness. Just how important is he on the pitch and off the pitch as captain? How much have you missed him?
Obviously, we have missed him. He's a club captain. He's a leader on and off the pitch. And the quality that he shows, I think he only played 60 minutes the other day, but you could see that the way he came and he was ready to go. So much quality on the ball and so much quality off the ball, leading the team. So obviously we have missed him. He's a really important player for us, and now he's back, and just let's enjoy him.
Amy?
Hi, David. Just wondering about the role of Mikel and the staff when you have difficult moments. Do you think they have special qualities to help lift everyone and get them back feeling together after a difficult moment?
Of course, I think they play a massive role on us. Obviously, they know what we need and what we want when obviously there's a defeat. Luckily, we haven't lost that many games, but obviously we lost two important ones, and they have lifted us up as much as possible, and they know what they're doing, and they're really good at that.
John?
David, earlier in the season when you had a sort of a bad spell or a couple of bad results, you talked about the players speaking amongst themselves, being and coming away from it really positive meetings. Have you had those sort of chats again about what's on offer and what's at stake for the rest of the season to come out positive?
We haven't had a meeting away from it. We have meetings like every day with the staff, like every club does. So. Nothing out of the ordinary, so just carry on with the routines.
And just talking about the mentality, what's it like within this group? Is it determination there to put it right and go on and sort of produce the season that you've built so far?
I think we are in a really good position in both competitions, like I said before, and it's just that happiness that you have to be out there playing. We have to enjoy ourselves. This is the most important part of the season now, the next couple of months, and we just have to enjoy it.
Hey David, what sort of test do you think Lisbon are going to give Arsenal tomorrow?
Oh, we know it's going to be very tough. I think the record at home is really good. We expect a big battle. Two teams that they want the ball and they want to attack. So we are ready for it, but we know it's going to be a tough battle tomorrow.
Ed?
Hi, David. You haven't played the last couple of games. You haven't actually played for a while. I mean, was it a bit frustrating for you to have to sit on the side and watch the team playing while in these two big cup games? Or?
No, it's just part of football. Sometimes you get picked, sometimes you don't. So you just have to be there for the team, for your teammates, and for Kepa. And in this example, trying to help as much as possible. But obviously, the word is not frustration. It's just part of football that the boss decides who plays and who doesn't. So we are used to those type of situations.
Issam?
Hi, David. At age 19, you had a loan spell at Southport, obviously during your Blackburn time. From what I was told at the time, you had limited English, you were very young from Spain and adapting to a new environment in the lower leagues. What did them experiences do for you as a person and a footballer? And in some ways, are you trying to make up for lost time here because you've only been able to fight for like the Champions League and Premier League so late in your career?
Well, those moments I always said, especially at Southport and obviously Blackburn, they made the person and the player that I am today, and because of that I am where I am today, because I went out there out of my comfort zone to play other type of football, because I was obviously playing for the under-21s at Blackburn. And of course my late career, like you said, playing most of my time in Championship and League One, it makes me more happy to be where I am right now, that saying that hard work pays off and is always something, if you fight for it, it can happen. So I'm just living the dream, playing for this football club and obviously fighting for these titles.
And how have you been able to stay humble all this time? Because from what I've been told, you've still been able to keep your feet on the ground and not get big with it all.
Just being myself. That's the person I am. Just being normal, like myself I am.
And just there in front of Gary. Yeah. Thank you.
Hello, David. Rodrigo Lima, Bola na Rede from Portugal. At Arsenal, you are one of the key players in the first phase of build-up with short and long passes. How do you see your role in this build-up, and how important can you be on the ball if Sporting pressing high tomorrow? Thank you.
Well, I am the last line of defence and the first line of attack, so I try to apply what the boss wants me to do with the ball and without the ball, trying to find those advantages to carry the ball to the other goal. So basically what we're trying to do is from the back to trying to score, and that's the way we play, and I feel very, very confident to play this way, and I really, really enjoy it. I feel like I've been enjoying this football since I came here and taking that responsibility to help the team to win games.
Simon?
David, you've spoken about tomorrow being an opportunity. Is part of that opportunity for the team to show its mental strength that's maybe been questioned after the Carabao Cup final and the Southampton game?
I think every game is an opportunity, and the next game is tomorrow. We have to be ourselves, and obviously there's going to be talks in behind about the 2 losses that we had, but we have to see as an opportunity to carry on, to show what team we are and what we want. So it's a massive one tomorrow, and we know it's going to be a difficult one, but this team is ready for everything.
We'll do the last couple with Matt and then... Yeah.
Hi, David. You said obviously part of the games, part of the sport's not be playing those last 2 games. What conversations have you had with Kepa to sort of lift him, because those matches didn't go to plan for him?
Obviously after the Man City game we went on international, but I was obviously I was away and then he stayed here. But after Southampton, obviously there's not much you can say. Obviously the team wasn't at the standards that we set. So there's no conversations towards those situations. You're just like trying to be a good teammate and a good friend that like we are.
Last one with Phil.
David, the Sporting head coach has said that he expects Arsenal to be like a wounded beast, a wounded animal tomorrow. Is that how you guys feel ahead of tomorrow's match?
No, it's just that's just part of football. Losing a game is not. I don't like that sentence, but if he feels like this, that's how he feels. But no, we feel with a lot of energy and eager to play tomorrow.
Cool, we'll end it there. Thank you, guys.
Arsenal's internal shakeup continues, and the latest departure signals that the restructuring behind the scenes is far from over. James Ellis has stepped down from his role as technical director just 7 months after being promoted. According to BBC Sport, Ellis, who only took on the position last August after serving as head of recruitment, has now left the club amid what appears to be a wider internal overhaul. His exit doesn't come in isolation. In December, Arsenal appointed former Napoli executive Maurizio Micheli to a senior recruitment role, a move widely seen as part of the club's long-term structural reset. Just months earlier, Andrea Berta had been confirmed as sporting director, effectively replacing Edu Gaspar. That appointment alone signaled a new era. Now, with Ellis gone, the transformation feels even more deliberate. Ellis joins Edu and former CEO Vini Venkatesham among high-profile departures from the Emirates hierarchy. Both Edu and Venkatesham moved on to new roles. Edu taking on a global director of football position at Nottingham Forest, and Venkatesham joining Tottenham. However, neither situation appears entirely stable. Edu's time at the City Ground has reportedly been turbulent. Nottingham Forest's dramatic drop in form since his arrival has raised serious questions about the project's direction, and indications suggest his tenure there may not last much longer. Meanwhile, at Tottenham, Venkatesham has come under intense scrutiny from Spurs supporters, particularly for his initial backing and continued support of Thomas Frank, even as results and performances deteriorated from December onward. Eventually, Igor Tudor was appointed interim manager, and his first match in charge came in the most demanding fixture possible, the North London derby against Arsenal. Despite having just 7 days in the job, the 47-year-old Tudor understands the magnitude of the occasion and the adversity he's facing. "We trained with 13 players," Tudor admitted. "That's the reality. It's not ideal, but in moments like this, the challenge becomes even greater. And so does the opportunity to succeed." He added confidently, "We will have 13 players ready, and that's more than enough to achieve what we want on Sunday. I understand the importance of this match. It's a North London derby. Everyone expects 3 points from us. We are aware of that." Arsenal, however, arrive at the derby carrying frustration of their own. Consecutive draws against Wolves and Brentford have slowed their momentum, and Mikel Arteta made it clear there could not be a better fixture to respond. "It's the next game, and it's the one we're most excited to play," Arteta said. "If we could play today, we would. We have to use that feeling in our stomach the right way, and show it on Sunday." There are also selection decisions looming. Despite Eberechi scoring 3 times in the reverse fixture, his place in midfield is no longer guaranteed. Competition has intensified, particularly after positive fitness updates on Kai Havertz and Martin Odegaard, both capable of operating in similar roles. "We'll have to wait until tomorrow," Arteta said cautiously. "But there's a strong possibility that both of them will be available." With tension rising both on and off the pitch, this derby feels bigger than usual. Arsenal are reshaping their leadership structure. Tottenham are battling instability, and both clubs are searching for momentum at a crucial stage of the season. Sunday won't just be about 3 points. It's about direction, identity, and control in North London. The broader picture, however, stretches beyond one derby or one boardroom exit. What is unfolding at Arsenal is a defining phase, a moment where structural decisions off the pitch could shape the club's competitiveness for years to come. The departure of James Ellis raises natural questions about continuity and recruitment strategy. Arsenal have invested heavily in building a data-driven, modern scouting network over the past few seasons. Under Mikel Arteta's leadership, recruitment has largely aligned with a clear footballing identity: younger profiles, tactical intelligence, technical security, and long-term resale value. Now, with Maurizio Micheli and Andrea Berta positioned as key figures, the club appears to be centralizing authority even further. For supporters, the concern isn't necessarily change. It's instability. Frequent turnover at executive level can create uncertainty during crucial transfer windows. With the summer approaching and expectations growing after consecutive near-title pushes, Arsenal cannot afford missteps in squad planning. Rivals are strengthening. Margins are thin. Every decision matters. On the pitch, the North London derby carries added psychological weight. Arsenal's recent draws against Wolves and Brentford weren't just dropped points. They dented momentum at a critical juncture of the season. Title races are often defined by response, how quickly a team reacts after disappointment. Arteta understands that narrative. Privately, there is belief within the squad that performances have not dipped as sharply as results suggest. Arsenal have maintained strong possession metrics, defensive structure, and chance creation numbers in recent matches. The issue has been efficiency, converting control into decisive moments. Against Tottenham, that margin for waste disappears. For Spurs, the situation feels even more volatile. Igor Tudor's interim appointment reflects urgency rather than long-term planning. Training sessions with limited numbers underline the squad's injury struggles, and depth will be tested against one of the league's most organized sides. Yet derby matches rarely follow logic. Emotional intensity often overrides tactical predictability. Another layer to the story is the competitive landscape at the top of the table. With Manchester City and Liverpool maintaining relentless standards, any slip can reshape the standings instantly. Arsenal know that draws at this stage can feel as damaging as defeats. The pressure is no longer about proving progress. It's about delivering silverware. Internally, Arteta's message has reportedly been direct. Block out external noise. The boardroom reshuffle, media speculation, and scrutiny around player selection cannot bleed into matchday focus. Leadership inside the dressing room, particularly from senior figures, becomes crucial in moments like this. There is also anticipation around the possible return of Kai Havertz and Martin Odegaard. Their availability would not only boost tactical flexibility, but also restore leadership and composure in key phases of play. If both are fit, Arteta faces a selection dilemma, but one he would welcome. In North London, perception shifts quickly. One result can calm doubts or intensify them. A victory would reassert Arsenal's authority, silence questions about momentum, and reinforce belief in the current project despite executive turnover. A setback, however, would amplify concerns about consistency at the worst possible time. Ultimately, this is a convergence of narratives, structural change, title ambition, squad depth challenges, and historic rivalry. The derby will not define the entire season, but it will send a message. And right now, both clubs are desperate to control that message.